We are live with Lavante Wiggins on a brand new storm report. We are presented by the pharmacy in Bennington and Manchester. We'd like to thank GC Tractor, the Bennington Rescue Squad, Kingsbread, and Ramontos North Adams. Wanted to take a minute to kind of reach out to everybody out there because everything being the way that it is, things have been crazy. Just kind of want to try to reconnect and hopefully, see some people we haven't seen in a while. I personally haven't seen Lavante since November, so it was good for me to see him. So we want to bring Lavante in, and we just kind of want to get an idea, kind of tell a story a little bit, see what he's been up to. So to kind of give you a rough idea, Lavante's first season was with us last year. It was a banner year for him, at least for us as an organization. Maybe he's had better seasons elsewhere, I don't know, but he had 1,800 yards for us this season and 18 over 18 touchdowns. He was this year's Southern Vermont Storm MVP and was also a finalist for league MVP. So welcome, Lavante. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I've been better, but I'm doing good.
Good. So the world obviously has been dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. It has all impacted us one way or the other. But I want to at least touch on it with you because I know earlier in the week you had told me you weren't feeling all that well, right. And you ultimately ended up taking the test for the virus, and you ended up positive or testing positive for it. So I just kind of want to see how you're feeling. How you feel, man?
I'm feeling way better, honestly. Symptoms are decreasing. My health is definitely getting way better.
Good.
So yeah, I'm fighting it.
Good, man. That's it's a scary thing in a sense. You think that hopefully you won't get it, and maybe you take a little. At least me personally, at least early on, I kind of took some. I don't know if we necessarily took it seriously enough. I know with my kids, it scares me.
Yeah.
So early on, I think I don't know, but in any case, what were the symptoms? Just like a hard did you have trouble breathing, or is it just more like a headache kind of thing?
So at first, the symptoms that I had was it was fever-like symptoms.
Yep.
I felt like I had a fever, but when I took my temperature said otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling good, was feeling drowsy, hard time breathing, big migraines, chest pains.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so it's a lot, honestly.
Yeah, it definitely got your attention, I'm sure. That wasn't something you expected to test positive for, I'm sure.
Not at all.
It's crazy. Like how's things like what's the feeling in Massachusetts? Does it feel like is it like total lockdown in Massachusetts, or is it kind of just do your own thing, stay home, that kind of deal?
We're getting more towards the lockdown stage, but right now it's pretty much just like everybody stay. They're not forcing it enough yet. I don't think, honestly. I think it's been forced to have people stay in their houses a while ago before it even started spreading like it's spreading now. But then again, obviously at the time, nobody, even myself, I didn't think it was as serious as it is until I noticed a lot of other people getting it, and then when I started taking the precautions way serious, by that time it was too late. So
yeah, it's in New York, it's starting to get harder to do anything, and rightfully so. It's just like you said, I unfortunately have to go out from time to time because I got to get stuff for the family. But you see a lot of people out there that really shouldn't be, and it's just I hope as time goes on, people can understand the kind of risks that they're taking, and they're putting everyone else kind of in a bad place. But so let's get past that. Let's talk about football here a little bit. So the first question I got to ask you. Are you coming back to play for the Storm this year? I figured I'd get it right from the source.
Yes. I'm coming back this season.
Excellent. I figured I'd ask you here in person to put you on the spot. I know we've been talking, but it's always good to get out there because I know there's a lot of people that care about you on this team, and myself as being one of those people. So I'm very happy to hear that. So I kind of want to get an idea of what your football story is, so to speak. So who ultimately inspired you to play football? Like how did you say, you know what, I want to play football? Was it something you just saw on TV and think, I want to do that? Or did it kind of come with like being around your friends? Your friends wanted to play. Like, kind of, where'd you ultimately get your passion for football?
So growing up, I was born in Springfield, Massachusetts, and
Mm.
me and my brother were always looking for something that we could use to help guide us and keep us out of trouble. So, and then when we moved to Pittsfield, it was basketball, which was like my first favorite sport. It was my favorite sport. I was playing basketball ever since like the third grade at the Boys and Girls Club, and then honestly, I played football at Pop Warner, but I only played for a season because at that time I was too big to run the ball. I was
Yep.
So I stopped playing, and then honestly, I thought I was done playing until two of my former coaches, Coach Quinn and Coach Bianchi from St. Joe's, actually got me into St. Joe, and then from there they were like, "Listen, we want you to play football for us," and then I started back up in the 8th grade at St. Joe, and then that's where it took off.
No, that's awesome. You actually answered my next question because I knew that you had played for St. Joe's, but I just want to give an opportunity to I didn't know if you played, in between. I mean, myself, I played a couple of years Pop Warner, but it's always good when you have someone looking out for you in a sense of wanting you to, go to their school and play. That's awesome. I'm glad that they did that, obviously, for on a for me at least.
Right.
So, who was your favorite player growing up? Football, or any player for that matter.
I was a Colts fan.
Yep.
So my favorite player was Peyton Manning.
Nice.
Offensive, overall, he was my favorite player. Obviously, my favorite offensive player, and then defensively, it was Dwight Freeney.
No, he was very good for a very long time. Yeah. Him and who was the other guy that played the other defensive end? That Dwight Freeney was. What was his other name?
I know who you talk about.
Oh goodness, I think we were like 93.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember his name now. It's gonna bother me, but we'll look it up later.
Bother me too.
Who did you try to play or kind of model yourself after? Like, who was a player that you looked up to as far as, I guess I would say running back, because it's hopefully your natural position. Robert Mathis is who it was.
Robert Mathis, yeah.
Yep.
Just pulled it up.
Yeah, Nate Sweet chimed in with that. So, Nate, did he wear number 93? Was I right about that? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember.
I don't either, but we're close. But he was a stud too. Was there a guy that did you look up to as far as running back? Was it somebody that you knew personally, or was it somebody out in the pros that kind of
both? When I was at St. Joe, I was very, very close to the Quins, so like Matt Quinn, Brody Quinn, Dempsey Quinn.
Yep.
In our family, and one of my brothers, whose wedding I actually just went to 2 weeks ago, Brody Quinn, he played running back, and we were like inseparable when I first went to St. Joe. That's the position that he played, and he was amazing, really, really good. So honestly, he was definitely one of the guys that I looked up to when I was like younger, and to better myself at that position. And then from like an NFL perspective, it was my favorite running back was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, I watched last night on, I think it was NBC Sports. It was 2010. They had on there with I think it was Brett Favre versus Aaron Rodgers, and AP just killed it like he always did.
Yeah.
He's just a special dude. Anytime he got the ball, man, you just
never know.
No, exactly. Growing up, who kind of pushed you as far as keeping you motivated to play sports? Did that kind of come from within, or did you have somebody that kind of had to, get on your butt, so to speak, or is that something that just kind of came naturally?
That's honestly a really good question. I would say both. Yeah. I've always been one to push myself, but I would say probably. I have a lot of people, but obviously one of the main people. Her name is Deborah Horth.
Mm-hmm.
She's like my other mom. I ended up moving in with her. And she was always on me, whether it was about sports,
Mm-hmm.
um, my grades, chores, anything that I had to do. She made sure that I was on top of it. Didn't let me slack. She never allowed me to get injured, even when I worked. She told me I wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
um,
Get have one of those for sure.
Honestly, definitely give her so much credit for how far I've come, just in general, just because she's helped me so much
Well,
throughout.
good. That's we all hope to have somebody that kind of keeps us in our lane, and kind of keep focus on what's important.
Yeah.
Um, so the game of football in general, what does it mean to you? Like, what has it brought to you? Like, can you envision the sport not being in your life one way or the other?
Definitely could not envision the sport not being in my life. I needed this sport
Yep.
to help me get through everything that I was going through
Mm.
in my childhood. It like helped me. It gave me like somewhere to like put all my anger and frustration out. Like I couldn't get in trouble for hitting people,
Right.
so I use football as like my peace sport, and
Sure.
I still try to do that. So
Yeah, I mean, I remember at least for me in high school, my high school coach Andy Lee always used to say, it's a fist fight in the phone booth, and I was kind of the same way. I had a lot of I wouldn't necessarily call it anger, maybe you can call it frustration or whatever it was, but without that, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would have finished high school. I really don't, but it's a great thing. And what would you tell young athletes today as far as what do you got to do to be successful?
just try to be the best version of yourself and just compete. Honestly, if I had pushed myself as hard as some of my teammates were in high school,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, who knows how far I actually could have made it. I know I had the potential to um, go as far as I wanted to go. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really start pushing myself until it was too late. But if I had that work ethic like earlier on,
Mm-hmm.
um, then it would have been a totally different story.
Yeah. So, in as far as your high school days, was there is there a memory that kind of sticks out to you that you always look back on? Either being a game situation or a coach or anything like that. I mean, is there anything that stands out to you?
Um, there's a lot that stands out, but I'm just gonna say there's like a person who stands out the most whenever I think of like my high school career.
Mm-hmm.
One of my longtime friend, Johnny Bianchi. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just because, like I said before, he was that kid on the team that always outworked everybody. He was um, by far one of the best athletes I've ever played with,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just seeing him like go from where he went, whether it was like size, strength, speed, anything.
Mm-hmm.
He exhibited what it was to be like the leader, the role model,
Yeah.
the guy that everybody should follow. So I don't know. There's a lot about him that I could say about.
Yeah. Did he was he the one that ended up playing at Springfield?
Yeah, yeah. He ended
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Well,
I,
he went.
I don't know him, but yeah. Yep.
So after we were done with high school, he ended up going to Cushing Academy Prep, and then he went Division 1 to shit. Um, uh, I can I can't remember right now. He went to a Division 1 school to play college football,
Oh,
and
really? I didn't
then
know that. Wow.
didn't like it as much, so he transferred to Springfield. Um,
Hmm.
just
Hey,
shine over
home
there.
is home, man. I get it. You know. Um. So you ended up playing for Endicott. How did that all kind of come together? Was there were they kind of looking at you um exclusively, or did you have some other options out there, or ultimately, how did Endicott become the place to be?
It was like a last second choice. Honestly, I wasn't looking at any Division 3 schools.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of prep school. And then I got hit with like some bad news when I had already um figured out where I had was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Got hit with some news that took all of those Division 1 offers away from me. So
Oh man.
yeah, so it was like a last second thing. There's a lot of different three schools that I could have attended,
Hmm.
and the cut ended up giving me the best scholarship. So I was literally going there for nothing. So honestly,
Hey,
I just
nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's an awful lot of people, myself included, that's paying student loans. So
I didn't know
nothing wrong with that.
about them. I didn't go visit
Yeah.
them until football season came up. Yeah, I didn't even know they had beaches like on the campus. I literally know nothing about
That's awesome. No, it seems like, I mean, you made the most of it. I mean, you had a hell of a college career, and it's something that definitely caught my attention. Um, so, and it kind of leads into the next question. Um, I know I feel as though I spent a decent amount of time trying to get you to play, and I think having your brother on the team certainly helped. But ultimately, kind of what made you want to jump back into it? As far as, I mean, I know you ultimately played for the Storm, but I was just curious, like, what kind of made you want to do it again?
Besides the fact that my brother convinced me to play and wouldn't stop bothering me about it, I didn't like the way my college career ended
Yep.
overall. My
Mhm.
senior season, we had, I think it was like 90% of our players were freshmen and sophomores, so it was like a really bad season.
Mhm.
Dealt with like so many different injuries, and honestly, just it wasn't the way that I had saw like
Mm.
my like last football game ended. So when I had the opportunity to go and play again, I was just like, I have to do it just to make
No,
my.
I'm very grateful. I mean, I can't say enough thank yous for everything you've done. You really, you're somebody that I respect greatly, and I want to thank you. Before this is over, I want to make sure I thank you for being a believer in us and taking the opportunity to play for us, because it means a lot to me personally. Um, so, how would you assess your 2019 season, all said and done?
I like as for myself or as like a team.
For you first, and maybe as a team in general, or maybe it's not exclusive to each other. I don't know, but whatever your thoughts are.
I did okay myself. I definitely could have done better if I had
Mm.
been in better shape. Um, our team, as far as our team goes, honestly, I feel like we should have went undefeated last season.
I
Uh,
agree.
Unfortunate, we had a couple of games to where we had players who couldn't make it, which obviously hurts any team.
Yep.
Um, and then obviously um, losing that game in a championship, it just wasn't um, where we should have been as a team. We definitely should have won that game.
No, I agree. I mean, I hate to rehash history, but
Yeah,
I don't
so
even know. I don't even know what that was. I don't recognize anything that went on in that game other than your 80-yard touchdown. That was the only thing that made sense.
yeah,
It just, it is what it is. I'm very proud of where we went, but in the end, it's we definitely left some food on the table, and I don't want that to happen again this year.
that was it, man.
No. So you've also been kind of on the recruitment trail. Earlier this week, Tank ultimately decided to come play for us.
Mm,
Um, what do you think he brings to the team?
everything, honestly. He can play any special teams, punt returner,
Hmm.
kick returner, receiver, running back. Um, he could do almost everything. Block, tackle, cover.
Mhm. Yep.
Um, I mean, it's been a while since he's played, but just he's one of those guys who you get him out there, he's gonna do everything that he can. He's always gonna give it 100%. So um, I'm definitely excited to have him on the team. It's, I've been wanting to ask him. It's just he's a big basketball player, so I don't
Yeah.
want to put him in that position. But I got him, so
No, I'm happy, man. He sent me some film last week, and well, maybe this week. I lose track of what day it is at this point, but yeah, he sent me some film, man. He seems excited, and anybody that's excited and can play like he can, the sky's the limit for him.
yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, last question for you:
Right.
who is better, you or your brother Joe?
Who's better between me or my brother?
Maybe we
Me.
can put that out to a vote if need be, but I think I'm not sure how it's going to go.
It's definitely me. My brother's good. I catch better than him too.
Well, I know that you snagged a couple this year and then went for a big yard. So yeah. I think I don't know. I'm not in a position to agree with one person or the other, but man, I just wanted to, that kind of takes care of the questions that I have. I mean, I want to thank you again for taking the time, and we're trying to do something like this at least once a week because I think it's good on a communication standpoint, just to kind of get a chance to chat and let people know what what you guys are up to. So that's all I got, man. So I want to thank you for taking the time, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
All right, Coach. Thank you. See you soon.
Yes, sir. We'll see you. Bye.
Not bad.